Hi guys, I'm Logan.
I'm Bonnie.
Mitch.
I'm Nick, and we just got done watching the domestic abuse and healthcare video, and it was really just kind of centered around the types of abuse and cases that doctors deal with every day. Honestly, having to do with domestic abuse, whether it be the physical abuse or the emotional abuse, that really takes a toll on these patients. And I mean, there's a lot of cases as we saw in this video. So.
You have a lot of different instances and scenarios, and the thing that's kind of interesting is you get to see the different like family backgrounds and stuff. It's all the diversity, and I mean Mercy Hospital. It's like a pretty diverse place, like culturally. So it was interesting to see.
Yeah,
I think it was interesting to see all the different types of ways people can be affected by domestic violence. Because I mean, you think of just like physical health, but like I feel like sometimes you wouldn't think about mental
any of those other ones. You always just see the physical most of the time, and that's all you really see.
You can't really see the mental.
It's kind of like we talked about in class. You kind of just like you just walk by someone. You never really consider anything when you're just walking past a stranger too. So it's one of those things. Like,
but if they're broken bones or bruises, you'd notice. But
most of the time they hide that stuff pretty well though.
Yeah,
I guess that's probably why one of the things, like if you see someone that's just acting totally different or very quiet when they used to be really chatty, that's definitely, I guess, one of the things that could play into seeing emotional health with domestic violence. But I mean, I've never really seen anything like that because I've never been really around domestic violence. But I mean, from TV and all these other things like Grey's Anatomy and all those types of shows, they always display that type of stuff.
There's a lot of medical shows that really bring out these types of cases, like you said, like Grey's Anatomy and ER.
ER from back in the day.
ER used to have it's such an older show, but like they've had
that one was great. So that one had such great medicine to it too, and it had so many instances of domestic violence.
What's the show you used to watch?
That was ER. It's the Chicago. It's like in the center city of Chicago.
I know. Chicago Med. That's based on the Chicago Fire series and all that, but they have their own psychiatrist there. Mm-hmm. So there's a few episodes where he's like mained in the story, and he deals with talking to people and trying to figure out, how to help them, not just physically, but more on the mental side of it. So I thought that was a pretty cool twist.
I think probably one of the big things too is like if you get domestically abused, I think probably one of the things you probably do is you blame yourself a lot. And I think that's one of the things that probably helps you deal with, like, adds to depression or maybe becoming an alcoholic, which is just not good either.
Yeah, it just enhances all those negative signs and symptoms.
Yeah, I really think a big part of this focused around like the trauma that a lot of these people deal with having domestic abuse and going through all the violence that they've been through in their relationships, and like you can really see they live with trauma like all the time, every day, or whenever something happens, like it's just kind of like embedded in them, and it's just crazy to see it with all these cases and stuff.
I think it's really hard because you never know what someone's dealing through or what someone's going through, especially mentally. But I feel like with some of this stuff, if you can like see the signs and you can try to teach people how to deal with this stuff, it could definitely help with some of the mental illnesses. But you never know what anyone's really going through day to day and how stuff like that affects them.
Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I think we haven't really touched on much because we haven't really talked about it a whole lot in class, but we haven't really talked about the instances where someone reports something and it's not not the case, and then the family gets affected because the child gets taken.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those instances where the family gets screwed over, but I think that's kind of a low number, but I've heard of it happening and seen it happening before, but it's one of those things where it's probably really low.
I mean, it definitely kind of brought to my attention. Like I never really thought about the mental stress and the mental side of domestic abuse and all that. I always just thought about the physical issues and the physical problems that they're dealing with. I didn't really think about the mental side. So
yeah.
I think
that's it.
Yeah,
I just want to shout out ER. If you haven't seen it, Anthony Edwards is in it from Top Gun. So give it a try.
You heard it here first from Logan W.
Yep. It's a great show.
Go Nova tonight.